everybody, and welcome to Hof Bergmann. So a little while back, I ran a set of pilot episodes to see what kind of story people would enjoy the most here on OverchordGaming after we had finished the young man's adventures on Blanc. Now, in the meantime, I have had a little bit of technical difficulties with the contractor mod in FS19. I keep getting a kind of stutter or jitter on some of the characters, so unfortunately right now it is not really suitable for using in the recording. So instead we are joining the story, still the same story that you all voted for. We're on Hof Bergmann. And we're going to be joining Hans, the caretaker of Hof Bergmann. The young man and Helen have been delayed in their ability to come to the farm, but Hans is going to be running it for a little while for us, and we're going to be jumping in to his story just now. No, I can't see anything. There's no signs of any leaks. I've traced these hoses God knows how many times now. Yet the thing keeps squealing at me. Hello, everybody. I'm sure you weren't expecting me in this story, but here I am, looking after Hof Bergmann. It's not that long ago since the young man and Helen, the young couple, were here and agreed to take over and run the farm, but obviously they are having some difficulties before they can come and join us. However, both the young couple and Dr. Bergmann have transferred the money, and in fact they agreed both to transfer a little more just to make sure that this interim period wouldn't cause too many problems. And I've been given access to the farm's business account, so I will be managing the finances, I will be doing the farming. Lydia, my wife, is over in the shop, and she will be looking after that side of things. I'm having some problems with this tractor. I keep getting some kind of hydraulic error, but I've been through it all, so unfortunately it looks like I'm already going to have to start spending some of the farm's money by taking this tractor down to the dealership, because I have kind of exhausted my own fault finding on this thing. So that will be one of the first things we gotta get done today, but I also gotta see if I can make it up to the grain mill. You see, I've been given a list both by Dr. Bergmann and a list by the young couple about their priorities and the things that they would really like to get started on the farm. And let me tell you, they are quite long lists, both of them. So I have a lot to be getting on with. The last thing I needed really was for this problem to start happening. I have one field left to cultivate before we can get moving on some seeding, but it's still a little cold for spring seeding perhaps, so I guess it's not too much of a panic. But I better bring this down to the dealership, and then I need to just double check with the grain mill. Normally they would only sell us flour in very large bulk volumes, or they would grind our own grain. We don't have any grain on the farm right now, but they have agreed that we could have a number of sacks, because one of the things on the to-do list from the young couple was to get some fresh produce up and going for the farm as quickly as possible. And it was deemed that fresh baked bread from the bakery right next door to the shop there would be a good way to get started. So I got to try and get my head around that as well, but I think I better first take this down to the dealership so they can take a look at it. I did phone them and they said they should be okay to take a look at it this afternoon, so we'll get that done first of all. Now let me see it. Mute that alarm and see if I can. It's a little bit. Oh, here we go. No, keep going. Oh, stupid controls. Right. Oh, it's juttering a lot, but I think we got it now. Okay, it's actually gone into lock position. The problem is I can't really tell whether it's the hydraulics coming from the tractor that's causing the problem, or whether it's something from the cultivator. That's where I need the expertise from the guys down there. So as you can see, I plowed one field over on this side, and there are 2 fields over on this side that has already been cultivated, and there's 1 more to go. But as I'm heading down, I guess I could tell you a little of the to-do lists I've been given. So from Dr. Bergmann, he informed me, unbeknownst to me, that some additional land from the farm has come back under the holding. It had been leased out for a number of years, but the lease has now ended, and the current tenants did not wish to continue the lease. So we now have an additional orchard of fruit trees somewhere down by the other village, and we have a piece of forestry land that has been sitting idle for a number of years, but so the doctor wants me to go and inspect those, find out what it's gonna take to start making some profit from them. And as for the young couples list, well, let me just get this reversed in and talk to the guys in the workshop, and then I'll let you know a bit about that. I hope it's okay that I reverse it straight in for them. Yeah, they seem happy with that. Okay, so you will phone me when you've had a look and you know what the cost is gonna be. Thank you very much, and see you soon. I need to give Lydia a phone and see if she can come and pick me up in the van, and then I can drop her off. It's not ideal because we have to close the shop every time we do this, so I suppose I could walk. It's not that far. The exercise will do me some good. And in the meantime, I can explain a little bit to you. So the young couple seemed very keen on trying to get some produce back in the store. That's why they had mentioned the bread to begin with, because it's not so seasonally dependent, they said. But they also want to try and get animals back on the farm as quickly as possible. And the order of preference was to get goats and then to get some pigs. And the young man is apparently phoning around different animal dealers in the area, because he says that bringing in a young herd will be no good for the farm, since milk production and cheese production should be the focus. So he wants to try and see if he can pay a little bit more for the animals, but get an established small herd bought in, perhaps. I don't know. I guess if a farm is closing down, an opportunity like that might come up. I just hope he's not going to buy some really old cows that are going to turn out not to be productive for us. But as you can see, then there is plenty to be done. So while I walk the rest of the way here, I'm gonna get in touch with grain mill and see if they have some flour that we can pick up, and then I will also perhaps stop by the forest area that the doctor asked me to take a look at. Now the farm used to produce a lot of chipwood, firewood, for the village, and the doctor seems to be keen that in order to engage with the villagers and things like that, that we should try and get back to doing that. But I have explained to him that we don't have any wood chipping facilities, but he's talking about maybe we should rent one and cut down trees in the forest and get it all chipped up and bagged and ready for delivery. So I guess I will have to see, but I'm almost there now, and I'll be with you shortly. Back again. Well, there is no time to rest. I need to be getting on with the other chores for today. I do hope that the dealership figure out what the problem is. I really want to get on with the field work, but I guess it's going to have to wait till tomorrow now. But it has been a bit cold. I will just go and speak with Lydia in the store and check if everything is okay. Yes, I will head up. Okay, so I better get up and check on the situation with the flour. I will take the farm van and we'll see how we get on. As we're heading up to the grain mill, you can see the forest area up there on the hill. That is the area that has now come back to the farm, no longer being leased out. As you can see, it's quite mature trees up there. The previous tenant just rented the land for hunting rights. I don't think it made an awful lot of money, but now it's back onto the farm. I don't know if we're going to try and lease it out again, but it sounds like I need to start looking into a wood chipper as well. But yes, many things to do here on the farm. First, I need to talk to the miller and see if we could get that flour sorted out. It looks like he's got some lined up in there for me, so I will open the door. Hello. Yeah, I phoned earlier about the flour. Yeah, it's behind you on the pallets there. How much do I owe you for the flour? Well, my boss said that you had a couple of options. You can either pay for them at about 300 per sack. Alternatively, he said that because he knows Hof Bergmann and everything like that, if you deliver the first load of about 6,000 liters of rye to us come autumn, free of charge, then we can do it like that. Well, I was planning on putting rye down, of course. So, yeah, I think I'll go with that. I guess I need to sign some papers, do I? Yeah, just right here. Okay, so that's the papers signed. And we now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sacks of flour. That should certainly keep our baking efforts going for a while. I am okay at... Oops, I am dropping the sacks here, but I guess I'm okay at baking. Lydia, my wife, is better. She said that if I get the first batch mixed and put on, then she'll take care of the rest. But I gotta get these loaded first. They are a little bit heavy, but not too bad. I better get on with it. Oh, last sack to go in. Oh, it sure would be handy to have some spare help here. Oh, I hope I can close the door here. I need to push this one in a little further. There we go. Right, I better get back to the farm so I can get this started, but we'll just swing by the forest on the way back. So there's a shared access track to the grass field here that also leads us up towards the forest. I'm not going to try to drive in with the van here, but we can stop and take a little look. I think this firewood belongs to the wood mill down there, the carpentry business, but everything behind here now is back under the control. It's a bit overgrown in here. Might be hard to get access if the doctor really wants us to chip wood, but I suppose, looking around, there are some good mature trees quite a lot, in fact. So I guess it would be an option that I need to look into. Once I go and get the tractor and the cultivator back from the dealership, I might inquire how much it would be to hire a wood chipper. Obviously, if it's very, very expensive, then it simply won't be viable. But of course, we also need wood chips for the oven that I'm about to use. We do have some left on the farm, but not very much. Right, I better not drive too far in on the neighbor's grass here. I think he just has a horse somewhere. It's the guy that runs the carpentry shop in there that has the field here. But yeah, we want to stay on good terms with our neighbors. Right, we have arrived, and I think I better just get the first sack in and get the mixer going, because we need to get started on this. I think it uses a whole pack for every batch of bread that we made. I think it was bought in specifically in these quantities because it fitted. Right, see if we can get the machine on and I can get the rest of the flour loaded in the meantime. Yes, good. It seems to be mixing. I'll have to form some breads as well. Right. The last sack of flour. It's really quite heavy, but I got them all stacked up here, and that will do us good. I guess technically speaking, we should be making the bread in the morning to sell on the day, but I wanted to get it started. It's been a while since the oven has been fired up. We cleaned it up yesterday in anticipation of the young couple coming, but obviously they're not here right now, but at least it means that bit is done. Right, I better move the gator back. I was trying to use some extra tools when I was trying to fix the tractor, but I wasn't having much luck there. This used to be mainly used over at the sheep, and of course the young couple has asked me to look into buying some goats as well, so it may become relevant to use this little machine again to nip over with feeds and such like. But for now, I will leave it in here and I'll see. I better get on with this bread and then I will see you in a little while. Well, I'm getting the first bread shaped, but I also need to get the oven fired up, so I need some of our wood chips to put in here. I seem to be doing a lot of moving sacks today, but such is the life. Let's see if I can get it loaded in. Ah, yes. There we go. I think that should be a good amount. Get the doors closed up. Right. Ready to start loading some breads in. And hopefully we will get something good out of it. So I have asked Lydia to take over on the bread making. She can keep an eye on the shop and the bakery reasonably at the same time. I need to make a couple of phone calls down to the shop to see if they found out what's going on, and also to the animal dealership. Excellent. I'm off the phone with the animal dealership, and they do indeed have goats. for sale right now. They have a batch that's ready to come out. They did offer to transport them up to the farm, but to be honest, it was going to cost quite a bit more than the goats themselves. So I'm going to be heading down. I will take the old Fendt here. We have an animal trailer. It used to be mainly used for cattle, but I reckon I should be able to get goats into it as well. So and while I was on the phone, I also got in touch with the dealership. The mechanic was still checking over a last few things, but they were fairly certain that it was primarily a sensor issue on the tractor itself. So they're just waiting for the part to come in. It might take a day or two. So they did mention that if I wanted to come down and get the cultivator with a different tractor, that would not be a problem, because they're certain that the problem is related to the tractor and this sensor, and possibly how it provides information to hydraulics. So that is good news in some ways. Sometimes I just wish that the tractors weren't so technical that I can't figure out what's going on with them. This one is a little bit simpler, more straightforward to use. Right, still in good time. It's not that long ago since I talked to them, so they should be in the stable. Ah yes, he's waving at me already. So I think I just need to get the trailer reversed up, and we can let down the gates and get these goats loaded on. Thank you, Albrecht. I'll probably see you again soon. It seems like the young couple are keen on getting animals. Well, here we are. They seem reasonably well behaved. They've kind of flocked together right now in the trailer, so I'll still get the gate closed up before any of them get ideas about running off. And we'll take them up to the field where we're going to keep them. I'm told that before my time on the farm, there was both goats and sheep being kept in the same pen, and I do believe that Helen is rather fond of sheep, but they recognize that goats would be the way to go, in the hope that we can get some milk production going within the next little while. I don't know how long it takes for them to settle in and start reproducing, but I will have to keep a close eye on them. But first, better get our gate opened up here. And if I angled it a little bit, there's no room for them to try and bolt out, but they will have plenty of space to move around on. Well, there we go. Plenty of room for 10 sheep to move around in. But they were not too expensive. Just under 6,000 euro for the sheep. No, for the goats. They are not sheep, sorry. Right, I better give them some water to begin with, and then I'll be bringing up some feed for them. So for this job, I will use our other Fendt. I wonder if I can get both bales over there at the same time. It would be convenient, but it might get a little too loose here. Let's see if we can make it work. Ah yes, I think we should be okay. It's not a long distance I gotta go. Let me just check. Yes, they're all here. They seem quite happy, but better make sure they have some decent food here. They have a bit of a stabling facility here, and I'll put some food into the troughs to get them used to the idea. It is still a little bit cold at night, so I'm thinking maybe I should also get a straw bale and spread out as a bit of bedding for them. But first I'll get these in and get them cut open and spread into the troughs. Well, I gave them as much as they needed right now, but that was really only just sort of the first layer of the bale, so I'm gonna put the rest over here in the corner, and I can give them more when it's needed, but I also don't want to end up overfeeding them so they get sick or anything like that. We gotta look after our animals. I do hope Helen comes soon, because I'm really not an expert on these, but they seem easy enough so far. But yes, as I just reverse out here, I think I will go down and get them a straw bale as well. Right now it's about 7 degrees, and that's in the afternoon. It tends to get quite a bit colder as we move into the evening, and they're new on the farm. We want them to be comfortable, so we have stacks of bales. That is the one thing that was kept on the farm and hasn't been sold off before the deal with the young man and Helen had been agreed. Now, you might have noticed that we have square bales and round bales on the farm here. To be honest, we don't even have a baler. All baling has been done by contractors here on the farm. So from that perspective, when it came to baling straw, I think we got a better deal on a larger square baler. And for the rest of the work, one of the local farmers with a round baler came and helped out. These bales are quite compact, so just like with the feed, I didn't need a whole one to spread out a comfortable layer, but if we just go in and have a look, this looks pretty good for them. That should be enough to give them a little bit of shelter and something to settle down in overnight. So I guess they'll more or less look after themselves for now. I'll be back up and checking on them in our next episode, but they seem quite happy for now. I guess we got them early enough that they might actually start breeding this spring. As long as that dealer has given me some decent animals at least. Right, back to the farm. See how we're getting on with the breads. I guess they'll be ready for sale tomorrow, really, when it comes down to it, but it would be good to get them finished so I can have a little bit ticked off both of these to-do lists. I do need to go down and pick up the cultivator. I'll use our case tractor. It's got plenty of horsepower to pull the cultivator, so I might as well, since I gotta reconnect all the hydraulic hoses, I might as well get it straight onto that one, and then I can get the last field cultivated. But I think that will be a job for tomorrow as well. But I will get it started up, and I can move it over to the yard while I just go and check on the breads, and then we can head down, at least get the cultivator collected before the machinery shop closes for the day. And then I think today's work is almost done. I just gotta tidy up a little bit here in the yard, but just park here and leave the engine running. It hasn't run for a while, so no harm in warming up a bit. Right, plenty of breads already to go in the oven. Right, There we have our breads. Now I can get the oven on and get this closed up. Right. I hope they will bake okay. I will be able to check on that when I'm back with the cultivator. Well, we made it in time before they closed. It looks like they've left the cultivator outside now. Right, I'll just go and check with the girl on reception, the lady on reception here, before we run off with anything. And I need to ask about a wood chip anyway. Hello, I'm just here about the cultivator, and I also wanted to check on how much it would be potentially to lease a wood chipper. I don't know what kind of models you have. Okay, well, thank you. Right, so yeah, we're good to take the cultivator away. They didn't have much in terms of wood chippers. At least nothing that really seemed suitable. However, she did mention that the carpenter's yard actually has a wood chipper. So when they have leftover bits of timber that aren't being used for logs or boards, then they chip them up, and we might be able to lease one from there. So I'll have to swing by there as well, but I better get these hoses connected up first. Right, let me just see if I got that right now. That should be it there. Should be folding up. Ah, yes, okay. Yeah, that bit seems to work fine, and that was all stuttering before when I was using the Fent. It's hard to believe that one little sensor can wreak so much havoc, but there we have it. At least we have another tractor, and again, one that's a little bit simpler. That will allow us to get the cultivating finished. But I'm almost at the end of my day now. Although I guess I might end up working some longer hours than I had originally planned, now that I'm kind of the caretaker of Hof Bergmann. So, next time you come back, we'll be a little bit more focused on some of the field work, at least. We'll need to try and get some seed in the ground and get the last bit of cultivating done. Hopefully the Fent will be back from the dealership, but we can manage if it's not. Now, it does feel a little bit messy here in the yard, but I am going to be leaving the case here since we'll be using it first thing in the morning. I'll put the trailer back a little bit later and get the gates for the workshop closed up. I have put all the tools away. So, before I head off, I really just want to have a quick look and see how it's going with these breads. The first ones are looking pretty decent, if you ask me. I'm quite proud. I'm not really a baker, but I'll put them over in the box here so they're ready to go in the store later on. So that's good. I feel we've made some good progress today. But yes, I also need to find out about that wood chipper. I will also do that tomorrow as we're getting some of the field work completed. But bread is getting ready. The shop on Hof Bergmann will actually have some material that has, well, mainly come from the farm or nearby producers at least, for the rye flour that, technically speaking, was not grown here on the farm, but we will be seeding for rye again, so that's it. I better close the oven up before I let out all the heat and things bake unevenly. But I will go and chat to Lydia about where to put them afterwards. Oh, I forgot while I was down at the dealership. I should have asked, because they wanted some chickens to be able to sell eggs at the store as well. But oh well, I have done quite a bit today, and I hope you enjoyed following me here on Hof Bergmann. So that is it for our first episode here on Hof Bergmann with OverchordGaming. It's a little bit different from what I had originally planned, obviously, but I still hope that you enjoyed it. We'll see how Hans and Lydia gets on looking after the farm, and hopefully at some point we might see the young couple arrive as well. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon.